This morning. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, a lot going on here this morning. The big update is that the forecast, now the official forecast of the National Hurricane Center, does have Laura becoming a major hurricane before landfall. Landfall is still expected to be out through southwestern Louisiana. We got to look at the track here in a sec, but starting to get a better idea of Laura now because it is coming off of the Cuban coastline and looking fairly organized as it does so. Laura looking pretty put together here today. It is expected to start intensifying and intensify quite quickly over the next 24 hours. We kind of said yesterday, don't expect a whole lot of change in Laura over the next 24 hours or so. It had to get away from the islands first, and now it appears as if it's doing so. And you're really getting the convection going along the center now, and you can even see some of those clouds starting to tower up as well. Hurricane hunters are definitely going to be in there through the day today, taking all of those measurements. And now that it is out over the open ocean and out over the Gulf of Mexico, you remove the interaction from land, which is always very unpredictable, and you can start to get a better idea of what this storm is going to be doing. I would expect models to really start coming together. There's still a few variations there with the track, but all have been pointing towards a very intense storm. So the bump up to Category 3, not terribly unexpected here this morning. Winds are at about 115 miles an hour upon landfall. That will take you up through early Thursday morning. Landfall is going to be overnight Wednesday into Thursday. It does move quickly. It gets out of here by the time we get to Thursday afternoon. It's going to be sitting up in North Louisiana, and that may still be pulling some moisture in. It may still be pulling some of those showers in as well. We'll take a look at the models and all of that coming up here in just a little bit. Right now, let's talk about some of the impacts because we are talking significant impacts across the area. You've got hurricane watches that are in effect all across coastal Louisiana, certainly going out through Morgan City. Tropical storm watches from I-10 northwards. That is going to include almost all of Acadiana under some kind of tropical watch. As we move forward through the day today, these watches I think are going to change over to be warnings. Once they get, I believe it's a 24-hour time period, they go from watch to warning. So when you see that update come out, doesn't necessarily mean that things have changed. Now, obviously, change is going to be possible with the forecast, but I would certainly expect to see warnings up by the end of the day today. If not the end of the day today, then early tomorrow morning. One of the biggest things that we are going to be facing is the potential for some major storm surge, 7 to 11 feet up along the coastline. You can see water coming up in some areas, almost all the way towards the I-10 corridor there. You could be looking at, in southern parts of Acadia Parish, maybe 4 to 6 feet here just south of I-10, and then 7 to 11 down closer to the coastline, particularly the western coastline and the western parts of Vermilion Bay. As that storm comes in, think about the way that the winds are going to be rotating, and it's going to be forcing that water up into the bay right there. So eastern portions of coastal Acadiana and eastern portions of the Louisiana coastline, not going to see as significant storm surge, but it's still going to be there. But again, 7 to 11 feet would put it on the same type of magnitude that Rita was when Rita came through 15 years ago. If you want a timeline of events, this is what we've got. Seas are going to start to come up Wednesday morning. By Wednesday mid-morning, you will start to see gusts approaching tropical storm force strength up along the coastline. Rains are going to be sitting at about 6 to 12 inches. A lot of the rain is going to be coming late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. That will also be the last to go. And all of that combined with very intense winds of about 75 miles an hour plus possible throughout Acadiana, gusts that could approach 100 to 105 in western parts of Acadiana. If you get in extreme western Jefferson Davis Parish, you could see those numbers a little bit higher as well. That will lead to roof damage. It could lead to trees coming down, power lines coming down as well. So we would expect widespread power outages, particularly through western and southwestern parts of Acadiana. Katie?